So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr Games, and thanks to your guys' amazing support for the channel, I am giving to you guys the deck profile of the Winged Dragon of War post Duelist of Darkness, which is the next character Duelist set that Japan is getting sometime this year, that will hopefully be getting sometime down this year as well. So I can't wait for this deck to get its support. The support is absolutely amazing for the deck. It's exactly what the Winged Dragon of War needs. Just trying to figure out the kinks myself to get this deck working at its finest. And this is what I currently have for you guys. It's been doing quite well through my personal playtesting, test hands and everything like that. You're getting the god on the field, which is exactly what I want the deck to do. I want the deck to get War on the field so it can do some damage and then start rotating itself between all of its different forms while the deck just naturally throws and get out its other support cards like more copies of the God Slime, as you can see, for further protection and further damage. So I'm going to run through you guys the main deck and the small extra deck, just literally showing you what you guys just naturally need in the extra deck. The extra deck is very empty, like literally I'm going to be showing you guys 4 cards in this extra deck. For the rest of the extra deck can literally just be like super poly targets, other things like that, just XCs that you just feel like the deck can make. There are like fun techs I want to try and work out into the deck, like humanoids, like humanoid worm drake and things like that, just because it goes with the theme and things like that. But and further aqua support. So yes, so starting off with, firstly, before you even do this, if you enjoy this, please leave us a like and a subscribe down below so you guys don't miss out on any future support. I need to try and get into the routine of asking you guys this, just because like it helps us out a lot, and I do want to make sure that I do request for you guys support, because any support you guys give us is greatly appreciated and something that we all here on the channel appreciate as well. So starting off with the deck profile, we have 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of War. You actually do max out on 3 copies of the OG War, because the deck does actually and can actually normal summon this card and get some good attack points, and it doesn't cost all of your life points, which is absolutely amazing. This is exactly what War needed. No longer do we have to go through the loops and hoops of sphere mode to War, then War to Phoenix mode back to sphere mode, so on and so forth. You can literally just now summon War, get him some attack, do some damage, and then gradually rotate into the other forms, which we do play in the forms of 2 Phoenix mode and 1 sphere mode. This is a ratio that I'm trying out, because you actually just need 1 sphere mode now. You can actually just side in the other copies, to be frankly honest. Once you've got the 1 sphere mode in rotation, it's just all you need to do. And I feel like getting into the Phoenix mode first or second, through other techs that you can play in the deck and that we play in the deck, and just getting them to the graveyard as soon as possible, is the ratio that I'm just currently playing and testing, and it's been doing very well. Then we're playing 3 copies of Reflector Slime. This is your literal 1 card, 3 tributes, since you normal summon this, and then during that main phase you can get 2 slime tokens on the field. And so I believe this one does give you the additional normal summon. Sadly it doesn't. So the other cards in the deck, that does give you that additional normal summon, but the fact that we can just now go normal this, get 2 slime tokens, and you get 3 sacrifices for your god card in the forms of 1 monster is really, really powerful for the deck. And it does fit with the theme of the Aqua and everything like that. Its stats do matter. You could play things like Wrath Disciple, but I feel like it doesn't actually meld well with the new support. So I'm just going through this at the moment, though you can play things like Wrath Disciple. And it is something that I'm still looking into, just to seeing if I can squeeze it in the deck. Maybe it'd be a different build or anything like that. Right now I've gone with a more Aqua Slime, while kind of like build focus. And so continuing with that, we do have the 3 copies of Guardian Slime. Level 10 water 0/0 aqua, so those stats are very important, help you get into your god slime via through natural fusion summon or through tributing this on the field. But also it is your consistency for your VAR support cards, being able to search for any card that specifically lists the Winged Dragon of VAR from your deck to hand whenever it gets sent from hand or field to grave. Then we're playing 3 copies of King of the Swamp. This is actually a really funny card just because not only does it search for your polymerization, but it is an aqua monster. So you can actually, if you have multiple copies of this in your hand, ditch one to search poly and then use that other copy for your fusion summon. This is very cool, very adds to consistency of the deck, being able to go to your fusion summons to get your sacrifices on the field for a while also using things like the Guardian Slime to get your copies of like summoning Ancient Chant and things like that. So it is part of the combo that you saw previously to get your god card on the field. For the consistency, we are also playing 3 copies of Sangan. Sangan can go into your Almirage, which can then trigger Sangan to get you your copies of your slimes, whether it be the reactor slime or your guardian slime. Bear in mind you can't get the effects off that turn, so do bear that in mind. If you need to search your guardian slime, don't send it to graveyard that turn because you won't actually get its effects. So just bear that in mind. But being able to get to your guardian slime, yeah, it would be a turn delay to resolve it, but at the moment that's the best that I can come up with. So it's the most speedy, consistent way. You can play things like Mother Grizzly and stuff like that. If we do get further like support for aqua monsters, I will be trying those cards out as well. But so far at the moment, this is what I'm trying out and it's been doing quite nicely. And then to run up the monsters, I am playing a small Symphonic Engine. So I'm playing 3 copies of Guitar and 1 Mics. This engine does give you additional normal summons, which is something that you do at times need, but also it is discard fodder for your Guardian Slime. So if you open up with a hand of like Guardian Slime and Mics, you can go Guitar, scale Guitar, discard Guardian Slime to summon Mics, Mics gives you additional normal summon, then you can use the effect of Guardian Slime to add your Ancient Chant, play Ancient Chant to add Ra, and you can start going off from there. The combos start filling in quite nicely. So it also helps you discard your copies of Phoenix Mode as well, which is very important. So I'm trying this engine out. It's been doing, again, very nicely. It also gives you a free 300 beta that you can then sacrifice for your Ra through things like your Ancient Chants effect to give him an additional 2300 attack points. So that stat also does matter. That's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, we're playing 3 copies of the Ancient Chant, the Rotor for Winged Dragon of Ra itself, being able to search your god card and then being able to banish this so that your god card can gain the attack points of the monsters you tribute for its tribute summon is just absolutely amazing. It's phenomenal and it's exactly what the god card need. Then we're playing 3 copies of Millennium Revelations. So Millennium Revelations is your searcher for Monster Reborn. And being able to discard your Divine Beasts from your hand. So do bear that in mind, you can actually mix in Obelisk and Slifer because they can naturally be summoned through Monster Reborn for the turn. So you can do things like play this, ditch Obelisk, search Monster Reborn. Then you can play Monster Reborn to revive Obelisk and do some board wiping. So do bear that in mind as well if you want to go further in. So I do like how this one is a more generic thing for the god cards. So, but yeah, being able to revive your Winged Dragon of War as well through this card's effect for Monster Reborn is really, really powerful. But it can also recur Monster Reborn, which is another thing as well. So you can actually freely use Monster Reborn for other combos in the deck. And then not having to worry that, oh, now I don't have a Reborn for my god card play. So this does recur it as well. Then we're playing 2 copies of Mound of the Bound Creator and Terraforming to search it. You still want to give your god the protection, and if this does get destroyed, you can also search out your god cards as well, whether it be Sphere Mode, Phoenix Mode, or VAR itself. Being able to play this on your first turn with your god card out at like 3k or 4k or plus is very, very devastating. Then we're playing 1 copy of Foolish Burial, send in that Phoenix Mode to graveyard that you want to send. And I'm still taking in a copy of A Wild Monster Appears. This is one of the main reasons why I'm playing Phoenix mode at 2 copies. Because if I do have that in my hand, I can then use this to get Phoenix mode onto the field and start blowing up my opponent's monsters for free, essentially. Then we're playing 2 copies of Polymerization. It is important to get into your God Slime because it is your fastest way to get your tribute folders out for your God card while also giving him 3k. So playing Polymerization in a 2 of is the most consistent in my personal opinion because we are maxing out on King of the Swamp. We essentially have 5 copies of Monster Week 1. And I'm playing 2 copies of Desires just because this deck doesn't actually have natural draw power. I'm thinking of adding in more darks in the deck to play like things like Allure Darkness. But at the moment I'm just trying out Desires just for that somewhat generic draw power. And then to run up the spells, the God spell itself, Monster Reborn. Like this, this card hasn't become more important than at any point in time, in my opinion, up until now for a deck. This is detrimental for the deck. And then we're playing 2 trap cards in the forms of 1 Metal Effect Slime. You have 3 monsters that set this directly from the deck and lets you activate it that turn. I think that's a win. So you only need 1 copy, in my personal opinion, just because your reactor slime can set it from essentially anywhere. It's hand, deck, or graveyard. And then we're playing 1 copy of 1 with the Sun Deity. You only need 1 copy. It's not hugely important. It does help you for those big OTK damage pushes, game kind of like plays. So I only feel like the 1 copy is needed because you can search this out. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the very small extra deck. Literally, your extra deck is just 3 copies of Egyptian God Slime. And then the 1 copy of Salamangreat Armorage. I'm just showing you guys the basic cards that you need for your deck. You can even play like Armorage here at 3, which then if you want to and you can afford it, you can play things like Pot of Extravagance. That is probably like the best draw card for the deck, but I'm not forking out my bank to just get 3 copies of a Pot of Greed. As much as I do want those cards, I'm just going to wait for it to get reprinted. So again, if you do have the money and the finances for Extravagance, play that as a 3 of in the deck. You could probably drop Sangan to 2, play 3 Extravagance, play 3 Armorage, got 3 God Slime, and there you go, there's your consistency there. But this is the main thing that you need. Armorage for your Sangan play, which I mentioned before. Link into this, get your search of Sangan, go off from there. And then your 3 copies of the God Slime for your protection, your attacking, since it does have 3k attack, and your tribute fodder for your Egyptian God card. But that, guys, is the deck. I do hope you all enjoyed it. This is not competitive at all. You could probably do very well at your locals. This will be a surprise deck, I think, in the future when it does all get printed and does all come out. So this is very fun. This is a very fun deck to play. Being able to just like have a deck dedicated to VAR is just really enjoyable to me. Something I'm very happy to see, and it's a very, very fun deck. So I do advise you guys to, when it does come out, you can pick these cards up. Hopefully they won't be too high rarity. So the fact that Marek is the cover piece of the pack, these will probably be the highest rarity cards in the set, depending how the Mechlord and Jinzo support does as well. So I have seen the Jinzo support. The Jinzo support is really cool, is very powerful for Jinzo, and I hope the Mechlord does get that nice buff as well. So as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.